Let's begin by tuning in, bringing the hands together at the heart center. Rub the palms together. Pushing them slightly into your sternum, integrating both the feminine and the masculine aspects of yourself, left and right. We're going to Om together one time. Bring your hands to your knees, thumbs and index fingers together, and simply observe your mind. And let's begin by tuning into our breaths. So I'm going to teach you 3-part breathing today, which helps you integrate all 3 parts of your lungs and teaches you to breathe better, to remove carbon dioxide from the blood, and to bring more oxygen into the body, which is detoxifying by itself. So usually most people, especially in the Western world, with the stress and of modern living, we tend to breathe only from the upper lungs. So today we're going to learn to integrate the upper lungs, the middle lungs, and the bottom lungs. 3-part breathing. So starting at the upper lungs, when we only breathe through the upper lungs, we make this sniffing action where we're going. So as you can see, this is a very shallow breath, which only utilizes the upper portion of the lungs. So you're not bringing the oxygen throughout the entire lungs, and it makes it more difficult for the flow of carbon dioxide and oxygen to take place. So now we're going to bring the hands here to the rib cage, middle of the lungs, and we're going to engage the belly so that we're not breathing through the lower lungs, and we're going to just breathe here, feeling the rib cage as we inhale, expanding out and up, and as we exhale, coming in and down. So let's take 10 breaths here. Feeling the rib cage expanding and retracting on the exhale. Now let's move to the belly. So you're going to bring your hands to your navel. So you're now breathing through all 3 parts, through the top lungs, the middle of the lungs, and the bottom of the lungs. When you breathe out all the way, when you do the 3-part breathing, what happens is that the diaphragm is brought down and pushes down on the navel, and the belly comes out on the inhale, and on the exhale you bring in the navel all the way to your spine. So the belly button comes in and the breath is being expelled. You're creating a vacuum in the lungs, and then the next breath comes in naturally. So we're going to do that 3-part breathing 10 times. As you inhale, feel the belly coming out. As you exhale, let it come in and feel the navel coming all the way to the spine almost. So this has a very detoxifying effect, not only because the oxygen is moving through the lungs into the blood more easily, but also because you're giving a massage to the abdominal organs. So we will be using this breath throughout the entire sequence. We're going to now move into the different physical exercising that are detoxifying to the body. And using that same 3-part breath. So you want to breathe as deeply as you can through all 3 parts of your lungs. So we're going to begin with a cat and cow flow, aligning the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And we're going to begin to simply flex the spine back and forth. So inhaling, dropping the belly and looking up. Exhale, push your hands in the earth, lower legs in the earth, spine to the sky. We're going to repeat this 5 times, moving slowly and consciously. Inhaling as we open the heart and exhaling as we round the spine and squeeze the lungs. Continuously breathing with that slow, deep, 3-part breath. Now inhale, drop the belly, look up, and on the next exhale you're going to tuck the toes under, push the hips to the sky and come into a downward dog. So the hands are facing outwards, the fingers are wide apart, and you're pressing down into the earth, pushing the hips up into the sky, grounding down through the tailbone, soles of the feet on the floor if you can. If this is a little difficult because you have tight hamstrings, you may want to bend the knees slightly and then try to push down again. So shake your head yes and no so that you can release your neck, and then bend one knee and then the other so you can begin to lengthen at the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves, getting a little looser. And then come back down, bringing the knees wide apart, big toes together. We're going to come into a child's pose. The arms can be to the front or to the side of the body. It's your choice. And you're connecting to your forehead here, to your third eye, on the ground, just breathing through that space. From here we're going to push back up into a downward dog. And now inhaling, we bring the right leg up and we extend through the sole of the feet. So the foot on the floor is extending down, the foot up is pushing back as if you were doing a martial art kick. And release the right leg down as you exhale. Inhale and bring the left leg up. So 3 breaths here, as we do for most of our poses here. And then come down to a child's pose again. Relax, release. You can bring the arms to the side. Big toes are together. Forehead to the ground. Breathe. Bring the hands back. Come back up into downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee and open your hip. You want to keep the hips square, the foot flexed. You're still pushing the ground away from you with your hands. Hips to the sky. Breathing through the hip, letting that space open up. And release down. And inhale the left leg up, all the way up. Bend the knee and open the hip. And release back down. Wide open knees, toes together. Forehead to the ground. Relax, release, let go of all muscular contraction. Let's move back into a downward dog. And look to the front of your mat and step in between your hands. Inhaling, looking up. Exhale. Fold forward, bending the knees slightly if you have tight hamstrings. Inhale all the way up. Ground as you reach up. And exhale your arms down by your side. Samastitihi. So from here we're going to do some warm-up. We were right now flexing the spine and trying to get the body loosened up, also working on our muscles. Now we're going to warm the body up. So when you get sick, when you get a virus, the body, begins to develop a fever. So the fever is there to basically burn the impurities, burn the bacteria, let the body be healthy again. So when we move and we generate heat in the body, we're having that same effect where we're burning out bacteria and different toxins from the body. So it's very useful. So let's start with sun salutation A. Inhaling, looking up. Exhale, swan dive. Reach down. Inhale, halfway. Step or jump back to the top of your push-up. Slowly lower down. Inhale. Open your heart, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. So we're going to stay here in downward dog for 5 breaths. Bringing the belly in. Rib cage in, anchoring down through the sacrum, through the soles of the feet, and breathing here. So utilizing that 3-part breathing that we learned at the beginning of our sequence. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump back in between your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Ground and reach. Inhale up. And exhale, arms by your side. Samastitihi. So we're going to go into sun salutation B now. So bend the knees. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Straight back. Step back. Top of the push-up. Slowly lower down as you exhale. Inhale. Open your heart, shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale your right foot in between your hands, coming into a warrior one. Anchor down and reach up at the same time. Come back down, bring the right foot back, and exhale yourself all the way down. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale your left foot up. Exhale it in between your hands. Inhale, anchor down and reach up. Warrior one on the left side. Come back to the top of the push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. For 5 breaths. 3-part breathing using all 3 parts of your lungs. Top, middle, and bottom. Bringing optimum detoxification through the body. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump back to the top. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale your arms by your side. Samastiti. So we're going to take just a moment here to ground ourselves. So bring the toes up, wide apart, and anchor them down. Feel the soles of the feet in the ground as if you had roots extending down to the core of the earth. The belly is in, the rib cage are in, shoulders are back and down. You're creating some space in the back. The chin is slightly in so that you can lengthen the spine, the cervical spine, and the crown is lifting. So you're creating an extension in your spine. Now from here, we're going to separate the feet hip width apart. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, ground your left foot down as you bend to the right. So you want to have equal weight in both legs, both soles of the feet, as you extend. And breathe here. Breathe into the side, the left side of the body. Inhale back up. Lengthen, reach, and exhale to the other side. Grounding through the right now and extending towards the left. Breathing into the right side of the body, the waist. And inhale back to center. Exhale your arms down to the side. Bring your feet together. We're going to go into a twisting chair. So we're going to bend the knees, anchor down through the soles of the feet. We're going to bring the hands in prayer position and bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. We're going to be pushing the hands together, pushing down the right hand towards the left, anchoring the left elbow into the knee and really creating space in the waist. And extending the spine from the sacrum all the way to the crown, and twisting and breathing deeply into the abdominal organs. So 3 breaths here, inhaling back to center and exhaling to the other side for 3 breaths. Again, pushing the palms together, anchoring now the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, grounding down through the soles of the feet, extending the spine from the sacrum all the way to the crown, and breathing into the abdomen here. This is very detoxifying for the abdominal organs, and the deeper we breathe, the more of a detoxifying effect we get in this pose. Inhale back to center and release the arms down, Samastiti. So we're going to separate the feet hip width apart here, and we're going to go into a twisting triangle. So all the twisting poses are very highly detoxifying because the spine is being twisted and also the organs are getting a deep massage, especially with the deep breath. So we're going to bring the right foot back, and we want to keep the width in between the feet so that we can keep the hips squared. So inhaling the right arm up, exhaling the right arm down, keeping the hips squared. We're going to extend the spine from the sacrum all the way to the crown and then twist from the waist. So keep grounding through the soles of the feet. If this is a little difficult, you can bend the right knee slightly. But if you're able to, keep the legs straight and breathe. We're going to release the left hand down and fold forward over our left leg. So extend and fold forward. Keep grounding through the soles of the feet and extending through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Breathing through your abdomen all the way, all 3-part breaths. Slowly inhale back up, rise up, and come back to the top of the mat. And from here, again, separating the feet hip width apart, we're going to bring now the left foot back, squaring the hips. Inhale the left arm up and exhale the left hand down, squaring the hips, keeping that the pelvis at the same level, squared and stable. And we're going to twist from the waist for 3 breaths here. Release the right hand down. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, extend, and exhale, fold forward over your right leg. Breathe. Keep grounding through the soles of the feet and extending through the crown of the head. And slowly inhale yourself back up. Come back to the front of your mat. Again, keeping the feet this time a little more than hip width apart. And we're going to go into a dynamic spinal twist. As we do this pose, we're going to slightly hit the top of the lungs here on the right and the left, and the kidneys, so that we can activate those organs to detoxify. So just through that, by hitting slightly, we're activating the detoxifying process because we're helping those organs function better, stimulating them. So spinal twist, simply twisting back and forth, and we're going to repeat that 10 times. And come back to center. Now we're going to release forward, so we're going to be going back and forth, up and down, in what is called a wood chopping pose. So this pose has a very detoxifying effect, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. You connect to your navel chakra, so your belly, and this is where the fire is burning in the body. That's where you can really detoxify the body, by bringing that fire to basically burn out all the impurities from the body. So when we connect to that chakra and when we activate it, we're able to begin the purifying process in the body. So here we're going to make the sound Ram, which is the bija mantra for that chakra, which is basically the sound that activates that chakra, that makes it stimulated. So we bring the hands together right above the head, and we inhale, and when we exhale we come forward, and as if we were chopping wood, we bend the knees and we separate the hands down, and we keep going back and forth making the sound Ram. So we're going to do that 10 times. So Ram, 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 Ram. On the last one, we're going to stay with the knees bent. We're going to grab onto the opposite elbows with the hands and just stay here in a forward bend, relaxing the upper body, letting go, grounding through the soles of the feet. And then from here, slowly, we're going to begin to straighten the legs. And feel like the energy is being pulled upwards from the soles of the feet into your perineal floor, into the tailbone and up the spine. You bring the shoulders back and down and simply breathe here for a few seconds, just grounding yourself. Now we're going to do our last standing pose before going to the ground. A lot of wind here. So we're going to do the very beginning variation of eagle pose. So eagle pose, you're going to bring your right foot on the outside of the left foot, on the tippy toes. You're going to extend the arms out, and as you have the right leg over the left here, you want the left arm over the right. So you're basically switching opposite between the legs and the feet. We're going to simply lower down and squeeze the thighs and squeeze the hands. Squeeze the arms and breathe here. Also squeezing the pelvic floor. So this is highly detoxifying as we squeeze everything out of the legs, out of the arms, out of the pelvic floor. And then slowly coming back up, releasing, shaking, and going on the other side. So grounding down through your right foot, bringing the left foot on the outside, squeezing the legs together. Now that the left leg is over the right, you want to bring the right arm over the left. And squeezing down, squeezing the legs, the arms, the pelvic floor for 3 breaths here. And come back up, release, and shake. We're going to sun salute ourselves to the ground. So inhale, exhale, swan dive. Inhale, look up, step or jump back to the top of the push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, and exhale down. You're gonna now come laying down, bringing your head to the side and completely relaxing your body. No muscular contraction whatsoever. Feeling the belly rising and falling on your mat. Letting go of all the thoughts. Being fully present to your breath and to your body. Now from here we're gonna bring the hands to the front and we're gonna extend. So we're gonna be reaching through the fingertips and reaching through the toes. And on the next inhale we're gonna come up. So we're gonna be reaching again through the fingertips and the toes and breathing deep. That 3-part breath that we learned at the beginning of the sequence, we're utilizing this here to detox the abdominal organs. And release down. Now the head comes on the other side. And we're completely letting go again, relaxing the entire body. So learning the contrast between muscular contraction and engagement and total relaxation. Now you're going to grab on to your ankles, so bend the knees, hold the ankles. And we're going to come up, pushing the feet back, opening the shoulders, opening the heart. And for 3 breaths here, slow, deep breaths. And release down. Again, the neck now to the other side. Completely relaxing the entire body, relaxing the mind by letting it be empty. Focusing on the breath. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to push ourselves back into a child's pose. Knees are wide apart. Big toes together. Now very gently come up. And we're gonna come sitting on our heels. So if this is difficult, if you find that this is painful to your knees, you may want to elevate onto a pillow or a block. Now from here we're going to twist. So first we want to make sure that the spine is lengthened before coming into the twist. So we want to anchor down, bring the chin slightly in, and feel that extension upward. We're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. The right hand can be on the hip or it can be behind if you want to have more of a foundation and be able to really help yourself to remember to ground down and also lift up. So bringing the left hand to the right knee, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. Breathing through your belly. Inhale back to the center. Bring your right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, and exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. Keep grounding and extending, breathing through your belly, giving a nice detoxifying effect to the abdominal organs here. Inhale back to the center. And we're going to release the legs to the front. Take a moment here to adjust ourselves. The toes are flexed, feet flexed. You want to feel grounded through your sitting bones. You're going to bring the right foot on the outside of the left thigh, and we're going to twist again here. So we're going to hug the right knee in with the left arm. So inhaling and exhaling, twisting and looking over our right shoulder. So keep grounding and extending the spine with each and every inhale, and exhaling, twisting deeper, breathing into your belly. Inhale back to the center. Release your right leg down. You can shake your legs a little bit, and now bring the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Again, we're going to bring now the left hand behind the left sitting bone, and we're going to ground and reach through the crown, and we're going to hug the left knee in with the right arm. Inhale, extend the spine, and exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. Three breaths here. And release your twist. Come back to center on the inhale. And shake your legs. And we are now going to go and lay down on our backs. We're going to begin with what is called a digestion pose, where we're basically stimulating the different parts of our colon to improve digestion. So we're bending the right leg and bringing the right knee in. Again, we're using the 3-part breath so that we can get more of a detoxifying effect by massaging the abdominal organs with the breath. After breathing through the right colon, we release the right leg down and we bring the left leg into the chest, now stimulating the left colon. Breathing there, slow and deep. And then release the left knee down. And we're now going to bring both knees together, now to the transversal colon. Massaging the transversal colon with the breath and through the squeezing of the legs. Now we're going to release the knees from the chest. We're going to bring the feet to the sitting bones, kind of like right to the side almost of the hips, but lower down. And we're going to anchor down the soles of the feet into the ground. Bring the hands to the side and simply push the hips up. The gluteus muscles are engaged. The belly is in. And we keep pushing down into the floor and reaching up with the hips. Breathing here, letting the blood flow down from the pelvic floor into the heart center and the throat. Bringing the blood flow to the thyroid and parathyroid glands, which is highly detoxifying, helping with metabolism. Slowly lower down. Bring the knees into your chest and hug the knees in. And begin to rock from side to side. So giving a nice massage here to your spine, your lower back, kidneys and adrenal glands. Stimulating those organs as you do the 3-part breath. Also stimulating to the front, the abdominal organs. Through the squeezing and the deep breathing. You're going to release your legs. The legs are straight. And from here we're going to bring the legs back, supporting ourselves either by bringing the hands to the ground and pushing back, or supporting by bringing the hands to the buttocks and pushing back, bringing the feet back behind the head. So here we're going to support the back and we're going to stay here in what is called plow, breathing deep into the abdomen. This is very effective in breaking down the emotions that are stuck in the lower abdomen. So when we get anxious or nervous, we tend to contract in those areas, and plow and breathing deep here helps to break down those emotions. from here, we're gonna very gently lower ourselves back down, so the hands can stay here supporting the back, or they can come on the ground, and you want to use your core here. So engaging the core and slowly coming back down, one vertebra at a time. Bringing the legs back down to the ground slowly. And take a moment here to relax. So relax all muscular contraction, release any tension. Now we're gonna anchor the arms all the way to the elbows. So the forearms, anchoring them into the ground, and very slowly we point the toes and we're going to slide the head back, opening the heart, chest open, and slide the head back until it's on the crown of the head. So we're going to be breathing here in what is called the fish pose, which is the destroyer of disease. So this pose activates the throat center, again where the thyroid and parathyroid glands are. And we're going to breathe through that center and make the sound hum. And this activates the throat center. So, hum. 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 Now very slowly, keeping the weight in the elbows and the forearms, we're gonna slide the head back, protecting our neck here, being very gentle, and bring the head back to the ground. This concludes our physical postures, and we're now going to go into relaxation. So this is called Shavasana, the relaxation pose, and we want to be letting go in this pose. So we've done a lot of different movements and breaths that are highly detoxifying for the body, and now we want to go to the optimum detoxification, which is mental and emotional detoxification, letting go, completely surrendering and experiencing ourselves as limitless beings, completely open, completely relaxed, surrendered to whatever is in the moment. So take a moment here to scan your body. Make sure that your neck, your head, and your torso is aligned so that your spine can be straight. You want to have the palms facing up so that there's no overstimulation of the senses. The hands and the feet are very sensitive. There's a lot of nerve endings. So we want to have minimum stimulation here so we can go deep inside. The legs are slightly apart, feet falling out to the side. And we're going to bring in the relaxation response by inhaling through the nose and exhaling twice as long through the mouth. So we're stimulating the parasympathetic system by doing this. So inhale. And exhale, making the sound. Releasing excess heat from the body, letting go. So keep breathing in this way, inhaling through the nose, exhaling twice as long through the mouth for a few more breaths. Just stimulating, activating that relaxation response. Now let's scan the body to identify any place of tension. So oftentimes the hands tend to clench, so release the fingers, release the hands, let them relax. Focus now on your gluteus muscles and see if they're pulled together. If they are, just release. Let the shoulders slump into the ground. Let the neck relax. Let the forehead be free of tension. Let the eyebrows be free of tension. Feel the eyes just sinking into their sockets, downwards and inwards. Let the jaw relax. If the teeth are clenched together, let them be slightly apart. Let's begin to move the consciousness through the body, consciously relaxing each body part as I call it out. Feel the right leg, heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. Left leg, heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. Right arm, heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. Left arm, heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. Head and neck, heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. The entire body feels heavy, limp, sinking into the floor. Let the entire body relax. Let the body recuperate. Heal itself through complete surrender and relaxation. You can stay in relaxation pose as long as you want to, feeling the bliss of being motionless. From here we're going to bring the awareness back to the physical body, wiggling our fingers and our toes, stretching the arms overhead, and very gently coming to the right side of the body in a fetal position and resting there with the head supported by the hands, just for a few moments. Feeling supported by the earth, feeling grounded and safe and secure. And from this fetal position, you're gonna gently push yourself back up into a sitting. The eyes are closed. And you're going to come sitting in a comfortable position. So cross-legged for beginners is an easy posture to take. We're going to bring the hands back to the heart center, just like we began when we started connecting, tuning in. And we're going to chant 3 times the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And this mantra is a mantra that is highly detoxifying for your heart. It's the mantra of compassion. The mantra that wishes for all of humanity to be free of suffering and happy. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Inhale, and we're gonna Om together 1 time, closing this practice. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Thank you for joining me today.